If the Libyan people want their dictator, if they love their killer and it's their choice. Let the Libyan population choose through elections.
Yeah, the only problem with that is that when any Libyan, the only problem with what you've said is that when any Libyan expresses any sort of dissent or any notion that Gaddafi may not be the right leader for your country, they tend to get a bullet in the head, or at very least end up in detention facing torture.
That's not true, of course. And how about the African Union roadmap, which was rejected by the rebels? Do you know why? Because, Stephen, they know if the Libyan people have the choice now, they will choose the leader as a unifying figure, not a governor of Libya. How about a complete international supervision of a transitional period in Libya in which the Libyan can decide, one, the shape of the political system, two, the leadership of this political system? How reasonable is that? Let us do that, and let's not have preconditions against the Libyan people, because who is Barack Obama or Cameron to say to the Libyans, you cannot choose your current leadership? What if Libyans want the current leadership? Who are you to decide for Libyans?
Do you seriously believe that anybody listening to this, reflecting on the fact that, you know, we've had Gaddafi on 17th of March saying, no more fear, no more hesitation, there will be no mercy, our troops are moving into Benghazi, when your own mentor, Saif Gaddafi, said just on late February when he was addressing a crowd and promising them weapons, he said it is time to eradicate the protesters, clear out the bums, the brats and the drug abusers. This is the record. Do you think anybody's going to take seriously your words about reform?
Yeah. See, Stephen, this what sound bites and sensationalism does to the BBC and other respected media organizations. The leader talked about peace, talked about dialogue, talked about a change from within, talked about taking things gradually, and then he talked for 2 minutes about cleansing the Libyan people, cleansing their cities of these armed rebels, not him or the army cleansing the cities. He said, all Libyan people, let's move forward and cleanse our cities and houses from these armed rebels who want to take power and wealth away from us. It's been changed around to make the leader look as if he fighting the Libyan population. You see, even the BBC, the very respected organization, can fall for sound bites and media and sensationalism. The leader is on the side of the people. The leader now is acting as a unifying figure for peace, tranquility, and calm in Libya. People know if he goes, we will have a civil war, just like in Iraq, just like in Somalia.
Yeah,
we need to move in Libya gradually and peacefully until we really achieve democracy from within, not from without.
Peace and democracy, of course, is a million miles from what you have in your country right now. I just wonder whether you, having seen the decision taken by Moussa Ibrahim, seen the decisions taken by other senior members of the Gaddafi old guard, whether you too, despite all of the loyalty you've expressed in the course of this interview, whether you're beginning to wonder whether you want to stick around with a regime which clearly is going to face investigation, we know will face ICC study, because he's already begun, Mr. Ocampo has already begun it. You may well find, if you do not switch sides soon, you will be on the wrong end of a war crimes trial.
Stephen, I'm a Libyan. I know my country very well. And I know you'll find this hard to believe because of the misinformation and lies about Libya. Most of the Libyan nation, the tribes, the people, the children, the men, the women, are with the leader, not because you worship him, but because they really believe he is the safeguard of Libyan unity and peace. People look at Iraq and they are terrified. 8 years after the military invasion, and it's still no democracy, corruption is everywhere, murder, killing, civil war. People look at Somalia, 19 years after the foreign intervention, civil war, corruption, death, destruction everywhere. They look at Afghanistan. Libya is no exception. If we have military intervention, the leader goes, we will not have democracy, we'll have death. I'm doing what I'm doing, Stephen, because this is my moral decision before God, before myself, before my family, before history. I know what I'm doing is the right thing. I'm supported by the thousands and thousands of Libyans Stephen, I cannot walk the streets of Tripoli because people hug me and kiss me on the forehead every day and salute what I do.
Yes.
I do not care about what Western governments do. As for Mr. Moussa Kosa and Abdulrahman Shalgum, this is their personal decision. I have my personal decision. I've made it. I will not, by the way, stand for a government that kills civilians. I will never stand with an army that kills civilians. I know these are lies. I know these are not the facts. I know the facts has been hidden away from the international community, and hopefully in the future you will see that we were on the right side, not the evil side.
Yes, we hear reports even in the last 24 hours that the US administration might be willing to let Gaddafi go to a third country where he might, who knows, he might be free from the long arm of the International Criminal Court. Let's just get this straight. Is there any way you see that Gaddafi, his family, would be prepared to leave Tripoli?
I do not speak for Gaddafi or his family. I speak for the Libyan government. But I know that the leader is a very honorable man. He has liberated his country 40 years ago from the American, British, French, and Italian influence. He led a revolution in education, in health, in transport, in every single aspect of life for Libyan. We realize that he is a very honorable, independent leader, and I do believe that he will fight until peace and democracy are established in Libya. Stephen, remember, I'm not fighting for a person. I'm fighting for Libya to be independent, to be free and democratic. We have started a process years ago. I joined personally this process a year ago. I came back from Britain. Remember, I lived in Britain for 15 years. I lived in London for many, many, many years. I want to have the development you have in London and Libya. I want to have the freedom of press. I want to have a transparent political system in Libya. I want the Libyan people to be happy, peaceful, and progressive. I have to say,
Mr. Ibrahim, it looks like you made a very bad call. Let's just look, as we end, let's just look at reality. International Energy Agency currently says Libyan oil exports down to a trickle. We know that Libya needs refined petroleum products which it can no longer get because of sanctions. All of the billions that Gaddafi and the regime owns abroad now frozen. Your international relations all frozen, can't travel anywhere. You and the regime are in a huge hole. Are you just going to keep fighting till the bitter end?
Yes, but but Stephen, it's like if you are asking me to be a coward. You are saying to me, okay, you have your moral choice, but you have made a bad decision in terms of practicality. Well, I made the moral choice and I'm going to fight for it until the end. If I, for some reason, have the bad consequences, I'm prepared to face my personal future and my destiny. Many Libyans have already done that. We have many martyrs who were killed in the airstrikes. I'm not better than them. They died honorably and fighting for their country. Many children died, many women, many men.
Yeah, but
families,
it's not really about
like
you,
others.
Mr. Moussa. It's about what you and the regime have done to the nation.
That's not true. We with the nation are one. We challenge the international community. You see, our logic is quite powerful, Stephen. We are challenging everyone. We are challenging the international community to allow us to have free elections or free referendum here in Libya, here and now, under the full supervision of African Union and the United Nations.
Moussa Ibrahim,
and we will prove to you that the Libyan...
Yeah, we have to end. I'm terribly sorry to stop you there, but you did make the point. Thank you very much, Moussa Ibrahim, for being on Hard Talk.